Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Friday, May 23rd. Happy Friday, everyone. It is 6:25 right now. We got market opening up in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. All right, a few things here to update. That's good. That's good. Just a few more things here. All right, one last thing. And we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Link is sent out. All right, looks like we're good. So as people start to join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Go down to the 8 hour. Go down to the 4 hour. Go down to the 2 hour. One hour. $30-minute. $15-minute. $10-minute. And back down to the 1 minute here. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, May 23rd. It is 6:29 right now. We got market opening up in a few moments. Breakout for today is going to be a buy if anybody's looking to take that. I'm going to go over here and mark up point of control, market profile, etc. So we have value low at, let's see, 241,235. All right, so we got a possible sweep area down there. Point of control is at 41,438. 438. You got the other value low over here, 41,685. $235, 438, 655. Right, that got adjusted a little bit. 640. So this is going to adjust a little bit here as price moves along, and I'm going to move it with it. 640, 138, that one's fine. One below is at 234, 235, that's fine. Above here is going to be at 835. All right, so it's still moving around a bit. All right, looks like the breakout over here hit TP already. Yeah, definitely. So breakout for today pretty much hit. For this week, the breakout's been on fire again, guys. Last week we had five back-to-back wins. So every day last week the breakout won. For this week we had four wins back-to-back, I think. There's just one day that lost on Monday. So breakout pretty much hit every single day this week. All right, so we got market open here. We got a bunch of this liquidity that just got knocked out. So like, we talked about before, guys, liquidity and liquidity sweeps are different. Liquidity is where price has like no areas to bounce from and it just shoots right through. Liquidity sweeps is like where we have confluences in areas for price to bounce from. So like right here, we don't really have price areas to bounce from. So price just keeps pushing up. We don't really have liquidity sitting up here any higher. So, I mean, price might break through this value high and continue pushing up higher. If price pushes any more higher than that, we do have a level up here, which is the value high. I'm gonna mark that one up. There's also a level right here too. All right, so we got price pushing up right now. There's an MPS V2 that came up right here, but this was pre-market, came up at 628. So this right here was an MPS V2 that came up before market opened up. That was also a full TP as well, lined up with the opening push right there. So this is the opening candle. I'll mark up that as opening price. We got price pushing up higher. So as of now, there's not really any entries for us to take here at the moment. We're going to keep following price. Obviously not going to force anything here. There's nothing to take at the moment. Um, I'll keep watching to see if liquidity becomes established. So what I'm looking for here for a sweep to happen is I'm looking for price to push up, establish some sort of high at this point, come back down, and then come back for the retest for a double top. Something like that, right? Because we've been stuck in a range this past week, and that's kind of just what we're used to seeing, right? So here goes the lower range right here. Mark this up right here as the higher range. So I'm looking for this high to get pushed a bit higher. There's a high that's right here right now, but I want it to be closer to the this value low right here. Like a lot closer. Either past it or right below it. So looking for some sort of high to be established here. Even higher actually. So maybe like closer to the sessions. Have a high established there, price come back down, come back up, and establish a double top area. We'll see. We'll keep following it. There's no sessions. I mean, there's no liquidity around this area, so I just have to wait for this one here to establish. Once it establishes, we can start identifying that as a possible liquidity zone. There's no MPS V2s here right now. The ATR is actually really high. It's currently at 37. So it's jumping around between 34, 35, 37. You guys can see the volatility is a lot higher than usual today. We did have high impact news coming up today at 7 o'clock. We have new home sales. So I will also mark that up right here. Let's take a look at the overall trend. Overall trend over here, currently right now across the higher time frames is bearish. 4 hours bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes bearish. As you guys can see here, price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling to the downside. It's also bearish over here on the lower time frames. 10-minute, 5-minute, 1-minute time frame is bullish though. So it's a little bit of a shift here. So everything is bearish except for the 1 minute, but the 1 minute is leading, 5 minutes following, 10 minutes following, not too far behind. So we got all those levels right there. It's a little bit of a shift, but we'll see what happens in a few. Looking at this right now, let's see what else we got here. We have nothing else right now on the clean chart, on the regular chart, not clean chart, but regular chart. Again, if we want to take that MPS V2, we need price to retrace down and come back up higher. So if that was the case, and say for example, we get the retracement right here, this is perfectly fine because we can have price come down, and as it climbs back up, we can look for a possible MPS V2, right? This is like a head and shoulders pattern right here. So I'll mark up patterns and I'll just kind of call out what I see there. So like the first pattern that I was kind of looking for possibility here, if we're looking for a liquidity sweep, is a possible push to the upside, establish a high, retrace down, come back up, double top, and come back down, right? That's going to be one of the setups that I'm looking for, possible double top around this area. Let's see. Rev is asking is if 835 is an A plus plus. Yes, that is correct. So let me check real quick, actually. So we had the MPS V2. No, so the A plus plus is actually right here, Rev. It's at the opening candle. I mean, this could be considered like a later down the line A plus plus, but this is the actual A plus plus right here. So reason for that is because we had price push up from this area. We had the MPS V2. This is another engulfing candle. So that's basically two legs right there, two legs in one. And this would be the third leg right there for the A plus plus. So this one, it just happened a little later. Basically for the A plus plus entries, you're looking for a third leg. So you're looking for, and I have scenarios over here. Yeah, so right, like for example, this one right here, this would be scenario uh number 3. So it started off with an MPS V2. The reversal pattern was on the engulfing. Then the following would be right here, reversal continuation. And then you'd enter on the V1 or engulfing close, which would be this candle right here. So the A plus plus actually happened right here on open. And then that would be the third leg. So once that third leg is done, you basically have to wait for the retracement. So everything would be done right here. MPS V2 plus A plus plus. Now you'd wait for retracement, and then you look for it to happen again. Hey, Des, one morning. Nice. Solange, you got 30 off the A plus plus as well. This one right here too. Solange, yeah, let's see. Nice. A little push up right there. All right. So with that said, we have a new level of liquidity. right here. This could be a fake out back into the range. So this could be a fake out back into this lower range right here. So this area of liquidity is done with. I'll just leave it there for now. Take it off in a few. Yeah, no problem, Rev. So looking at this right now, guys, we have the retracement price pushed up. It's retracing down. We'll see if we get a continuation back up. Here's going to be the problem. If we get an MPS V2, because it's too close right now, ideally, I would want it to pull back a little further and then climb up. This is a little close right here because if we get a buy entry here, I don't want to be cutting into that valued low, right? So I would need it to push down a little bit further. Or if I do get an entry, I want it to close below this green line right here. The volatility is really high right now, guys. It's not like super high, but it's higher than what we're used to. So normally the ATR is like closer to 20. We're currently at 35 right now. So this is I wouldn't say it's super abnormal, but it's definitely a lot more abnormal than usual. No other news events for today. Let me refresh this. There's been a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes, guys. If you guys have seen, there's a lot of tariff news that has come out recently. So it says right here, this is why I'm saying like the summer market might not be a slow market. This Dow falls more than 300 points as Trump threatens new tariffs against the EU and Apple. So we're getting a lot of volatility. It's not all directional, but it's just volatility in the market. Gotta play it safe, guys. Friday. I got no sweep areas here right now. I do get one. Let me looking. 805. I just gotta keep moving this lower and lower. 580. This one actually got moved lower too. Okay, so this could be a possible sweep right here, guys, if price pushes back up. So that double top that I was talking about earlier, it could actually happen right here. So if you guys are looking to take a sweep, I'm not convinced yet because we're having a slow, it's so slow right now. But if you guys are looking to take a sweep, sweep could happen right here. I don't think it's a really good entry, but I mean, nonetheless, this could be a possible sweep. Entries at TP will be at yeah, so if anybody's looking to take a sweep right here, this is a possible opportunity for a sweep right there. For anybody who's looking to take it, I mean, you don't have to take this here. I don't think this is the best entry. Also because like the volume profile here keeps adjusting 438. That's okay. And 235. All right, everything else is fine. But yeah, if you want to take a possible sweep, guys, possible sweep may happen like right here. I'm gonna hold off on it though. I don't like when price is ranging like this. Like I said before, like if you want to take these sweeps, you got to have some sort of volatility there. But if I change my mind, I'll let you guys know. I just don't feel comfortable with this one so far because it just like this the pattern that I was looking for was a high to establish retracement and then come back down for a double top, or come back up for a double top and then come back down, something like that, right? We didn't really get a push down for retracement. What happened here is price kind of just went sideways for a bit, starting to establish a consolidation range right here. So you guys see this right here? This isn't a good sign. You don't really want to see consolidation range like this. Price is starting to consolidate pretty hard. The thing is, it's consolidating, but the candles are big. Each, like, they're like about 50 points each. So even though it's going sideways and it's consolidating, they're not weak candles. Yeah, it's lunge. You said massive fair value on the left. I'll pass on this sweep. Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. There's a bunch of gaps right here, actually. This whole area is full of fair value gaps. And it's cleaner. It's even cleaner here on the 5 minute. And there's gaps on both sides here. So you can probably see sweeps on both ends. Like, looks like price is kind of consolidating and ranging between these two areas of fair value gaps, this top area and this lower area. So, I mean, you can see a breakout in either direction. It's about all I see right now, though. Yeah, there's like no movement, guys. There's no movement with regard to direction. There's movement with regard to candle, though. Candles are pretty big. ATR is currently at 36. Still pretty high ATR right now. Let's see, 580. All right, everything is still cool. I don't think the market profile is going to adjust anytime soon. I think at this point it's pretty much good at where it's at. 790. And it's crazy how like this one keeps dropping lower. Usually it just stays where it's at. We got some more levels up here, but there's just no point in me drawing these up. If price does get up to this area, I'll mark it up and I'll come back there. But right now, it's just these lower areas that are important. All right, don't got too much going on here. Price is respecting this area of liquidity right there. So this could be considered, a sweep level as well, but there's no confluences there, so not exactly an area that I'd be looking for. There's another area right here so there's just too many liquidity levels here now. At this point, there could be sweeps in any of these areas. Ideally, I'd go for the farther one though. So like this is the farther one above. But I mean, there could be sweeps on both sides. There's liquidity there, more liquidity setting up below here. All right, we have a possible buy signal here coming up. This could be setting up for an MPS V2 for a buy. The only problem here is that we do have the value high right here, or value low. And if you do get an MPS V2 in this direction, you may get caught in the sweep. Because there can be a possible sweep right here and a possible sweep up here. But I mean, if you look closely, there's not really too much going on. Price is just consolidating sideways here. I wouldn't take any trades in this consolidation, personally. It's not a good area for me to look for trades. All right, so we do got price pushing back up here to this upper level of value low. Looking over here on the 1 minute chart, see if the levels line up too. Yeah, they're pretty much the same for the most part. The 1 minute's looking very similar. 580. All right, let's see what we got here. So price is pushing past that level. We're getting close to that value low. Again, this is an area of sweep that I talked about if anybody's looking to possibly get into it. I'm not getting into this one here though. Like I said, it's just too tricky of an area, but it's setting up for that setup that I mentioned. So top established right there, retracement, possible double top, continuation back down. So we'll follow it right here. I'm not in the position, but I will follow it. This is something that I would be interested in, but I'm just gonna follow it. Yeah, like Maria said. So guys, just another reminder, Monday is Memorial Day, so markets will be closed on Monday. There will not be any live trading since markets will be closed. Uh, it's a half day, so I think market closes like within an hour of open. So just keep that in mind, guys. I don't think there's any reason to trade on Monday. Uh, there's probably no volatility. All right, so price pretty much did what we anticipated. It just did not fill the sweep. So price actually never came back up for that double top. It got pretty close to it right there, but didn't actually fill it. So like I said, this would have been a good entry if it actually pushed up that high. Would have been something I would have looked out for. It's pushing back up right here though, so the sweep could still get filled. But there are my parameters there for the sweep if anybody's looking to take it. It's so messy here. So you guys look up, if you guys see this area, there's just so many levels in this area right now. I don't like the sideways move. It's too messy for me. So there's another area of liquidity right here for a possible sweep. It's way too choppy. Again, if you guys want to take it, the sweep hasn't been filled yet, so still opportunity there. Damn, look at the sweep again right there. It sweep this lower level. So it just sweep both right there. It just created a new liquidity level right there. So the sweep could have happened at that lower level right there too. Damn. I'm not going to get suckered into this trade though. I know you might start to get FOMO at this point. Nice. Talonji actually caught that 30 points hit. Nice work, Talonji. Yes, we got that right there. I mean, so the initial level of liquidity sweep has not happened yet, but this one over here, it sweep that level. You can see we had another higher high right there. Hey, what's up, Brock? Morning. All right, nothing here yet. I wouldn't really take any sweeps down here, but sweeps up there looking pretty nice. Yeah, it's been solid so far, Brock. So the sweep right there happened, guys, off that lower level right there. The upper sweep still hasn't filled yet. So I mean, if price pushes back up any higher, that could be another possible opportunity. The problem here is we got news coming up at 7 o'clock. You want to be careful. This is high impact news. Yeah, we got high impact news coming up soon, about 5 minutes. The ATR is currently at 40. Super, super high ATR right now. Haven't seen ATR this high in a really long time. All right, we're still stuck in this range, guys. I mean, there's opportunities to take entries within the range, but again, it's just gonna, probably take some time here. No MPS V2 there. We do have a sell signal. All right, we got price coming back down. Let me go ahead and take a look and see what we got here. So no new levels of liquidity established yet. We have a pending high low right here. We'd have to have a new high first before this will be established. If this here isn't established, it'll just create a new low. So, and there you go, new low right there. Yeah, Shivam said Wick News. Wick City, Brock said bullish news. Here, let's check real quick. So we got news coming up in about 2 minutes. It is new home sales. It's forecasted to be negative. So month over month, it's forecast to be very negative. New home sales for April is forecasted also to be negative. So negative news is a consensus. We'll see what happens here. I mean, just because it's forecasted to be negative doesn't mean it's going to be negative. It could be positive here. I mean, the news can be negative and it can still shoot up. We got news in about a minute. So we'll see what happens here shortly. Still have that sweep area up there. Let's see what we got. We got news in about 40 seconds. All right, we got the news coming up shortly. High impact news, new home sales. I'm not expecting like a super crazy move, but I'm expecting some sort of push here. New home sales typically does affect the market, especially because we're going into the spring season, or we are in the spring season. So home sales are supposed to go up. So they're typically supposed to be bullish, but We'll see. So price came down a little bit right there. It's pushing back up. News was positive. It was actually very positive. So it's forecasted here to be negative 4.7 is actually 10.9. So I figured it'd be bullish because it just doesn't make sense for it to be bearish. I don't know why the consensus here was so bearish. Usually home sales go up in the spring. So we got price pushing up right there. We'll see if it sweeps that area. So if you're looking for that sweep, guys, it is still going to be like right here, 641. It's kind of tricky to take the sweep here because, obviously the news here is going to push price up. So sweep might actually happen right there. This candle pushed up quite a bit, pushed up about 40 points. So nothing too, and it's not like a crazy, crazy move, but it's still pushed up pretty nicely. So, and we are still stuck in this consolidation range right here, guys. Consolidation range right here. So let's see if that sweep happens right there. There's a parameters if anybody's looking to take it. I'm not taking this one here because the news obviously is going to, let's see. So the sweep got filled right there. See if it comes back down. It's coming down right there. So I can't tell if the sweep already hit or it's still running. I'm assuming it's still running right now. This is why it's kind of tough to, you can't review sweeps after they happen because you have to see it actually happen in real time to see if it actually pulled back down. I don't think it went down yet. So it just filled right now. Like I said, it's tricky to take sweeps here because the news was super, super positive, right? That's why I wouldn't want to take the sweep right there. This news is way too positive. So although it's a sweep area, you have news over here kind of pushing price up. People try to bandwagon on this bullish news. That can still push price even higher, even though there's a possible sweep running right now. Let's go to the 30-second. Yeah. So it filled right there. It just didn't come down far enough to finish its move. So again, news happened on this candle right here. This doesn't necessarily mean it won't come back down, but it's in a tight position right here because the news was very positive. So if people want to push price up, like for example, this is what happens a lot sometimes. People will wait for news to come out. They'll see it's positive. They'll wait for price to push up, wait for the retracement, and then they'll get back in to push it right back up, right? Something like that. So that's why I would stay away from this specifically. If there wasn't news there, I would have taken the sweep for sure. But the news was just way too positive there. Or if the news was negative. So if the news was negative, I would have taken the sweep here. Because what I would have seen here is possible push up for manipulation and then correction back down. Right. So I'm not in the sweep here. This sweep was news driven. I'll just take this off. I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position, but this was the parameters for the possible sweep. It's just the news here was too positive, so I wouldn't go against the news like that, especially when it's off. So this is, it's a 15%, 15.6% better than expected result. That's a huge difference compared to what was forecasted here. Like if it was something small, like for example, see this one over here? This was like 0.07 of a percent for building permits. Okay, that's fine. But this here it was forecast to be negative 4.7. It was actually positive 10.9. And then same with this over here. It was forecasted to be 0.692. It was actually 7.43 million. So this is better than expected by 742 million. So that's how crazy, like, I wouldn't go against news like this. That's super, super positive. And you can see right there. So this is what I just mentioned here is happening. It did exactly that. People bandwagoned onto those buys there, right? Price push up for the news right here. retraced a little bit, loaded up on buyers, and it pushed all the way back up. So you gotta play by it. You gotta understand the news. You gotta understand like certain things in the market, guys. Like it doesn't matter how good your technical analysis is. If there's like some sort of factor in the background pushing price in a direction, your technical analysis goes out the window. So you just got to keep that in mind, guys. There's like tiers to things, right? It's like here, and I'll what to say here, tiers of importance, right? It's always going to be news, catalyst. That's going to be like one. The second one's going to be, and third is going to be technical analysis. It's always going to be like this, guys. So you guys got to keep this in mind. So whenever news comes out, news is always going to be king, right? It doesn't matter if the news is negative or if it's positive or whatever. The news is going to push price in a direction. The fundamental catalyst is where price is supposed to go, right? So for example, here, like I said, the news here was positive. So when the news happens, it doesn't necessarily mean price has to go up, right? So when news is positive like this, what could have happened if the news catalyst was bearish? It could have came down from manipulation, right? Price could have came up and came down. And then for the fundamental catalyst, this is like where the news is supposed to go. So like say for example, the news here was positive, price comes down, and then the fundamentals say that price should go up. So then price will correct back up because that's where it was supposed to go. And then after that, technical analysis is last. So just keep that in mind, guys. This is always going to be tiers of importance. This is why I don't trade news, and this is why I don't trade, when fundamental news comes out, because your technical analysis doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. That's why a lot of people they laugh about technical analysis, right? Like if you see a lot like people who trade fundamentals, they always say things that like technicals don't matter. Technicals matter in a normal market, but when news is happening and everything is news driven like this right here, the technicals don't matter. So it doesn't matter if you have a high here, a higher high, it doesn't matter because those double tops are not going to they're not going to be respected, right? They're not going to be respected because this could have been easily a triple top, right? Because this was rejected off here. If you were just going strictly off technical analysis, this right here is a triple top. It should have bounced from there, which it did. It bounced slightly, but then it shot back up because of the news catalyst, which happened right here at the 7 o'clock candle. So just keep that in mind, guys. It doesn't matter how good your technical analysis is. If there's news pushing price around, it doesn't matter. And right here, you could probably see a correction back down now. So it's all good. I'm going to go over here real quick and identify if these have changed. So the value high over here is at 730. So I'll bring this down a little bit. The value low over here is at 580. It's still there, hasn't moved. Point of control is still down here for 438. Okay, so everything here is still the same. This is what I'm going to look for now. I'm going to look for a sweep from the bottom side. So let me go and update this a little bit and take these off. Okay, so this here hasn't been established yet. There's a low here, but it's not fully established. We need to get another high before this is established. But what I'll be looking for here now is I'll be looking for a sweep to the downside or to the upside. So I'm looking for price to come down, sweep this area, and come right back up higher. So I need to make sure that this here is established. It's not established yet. If price drops past this level, it's going to establish a new low. So ideally, I would actually want it to push down even lower. So I want it to push down even past the value low here. So I'll be looking for possible buys here. So you can see right here again, price push down lower. This low here has not been established yet, which is perfectly fine because I actually want it to go lower than where it's currently at. So this is what I'm looking for to happen here. Let me clean this up a little bit. I'm looking for price to come down, establish a low, come back up, come back down for a double bottom, and I'll be looking to take my buy from down here. You guys see how that makes sense? It makes sense here because we have the value low, this pink, this green line right here. So this green line right here is the value low. That's where my confluence is. So what I want is I want my lows to be around this area right here. So my entry for sweep can happen down here. I want it as close to the value low as possible, if not lower. So just gotta wait for that. All right, Brock. So Brock City guys, one entry for the day, 50 points. Wish you guys a nice weekend. Happy hunting for the rest of the session too. Yeah, Brock, we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Monday is US holiday, Memorial's Day. So no trading on Monday. All right, let's see. So there's still no low here established yet. The low is still pending right there. I'm gonna move this over. And I hate how like the my buttons get in the way. For some reason, Spotify always opens on the wrong window. And I gotta put together a playlist for my baby shower this weekend. Let's take one from Spotify. All right, guys, so we got price pushing up right here. There's no let's see. We've got a new low. So this low has been established now. We got price kind of pushing up right here. There's no catalyst up here though. So we have a value high, which is like up here. We have a value high that's up here. So I'm not really looking to take anything down here. I'm looking for price to, again, I'm looking for these setups to kind of provide opportunity here for entry. I mean, it looks like price is going back into another range of consolidation down here. The ATR is currently at 36. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, there's not really much here going on. There could be a possible sweep right here. So let me just, I'll put some parameters here for a possible sweep. I don't think this is a super great sweep, but I mean, this could be a possible sweep if anybody is looking to take it. Obviously I'll let you guys know if it's something I plan on taking or or look at, but yeah, it's just a little. Ideally, I'd like it to go a little further below, but it's okay. All right, yeah. If anybody's looking to take this sweep right here, I don't think the sweep's super great. It's close enough, but it's not where I want it to be. I want it to be below the value low. I also don't like that price is ranging here. So that's another thing that I don't like the price action here because what you want to see is you want to see price kind of reach like a farther end. So you're looking for price to kind of push past to a far end and then come back up, or if it pushes up, push to a far end and then come back down. Right here, we don't really have that with the price action. Price is kind of just going back and forth here at the moment. A lot of consolidation, a lot of range here. See, Sam City misses gold trade. That's all good. I mean, I don't know if gold is moving like how YM is right now, but YM is it's in a super strong range. So it's really easy to miss these entries if there is any that come up. We shuffle back to market profile, 580. Yeah, it's still there. 700. So this value high keeps getting tighter and tighter. 38. Okay, we got that set up okay there. So again, if you guys are looking for a possible sweep right here, I don't think this is a super, super nice sweep, but I mean, it's nonetheless, it's a setup. So I'll mark it up for you guys here if anybody's looking to take it. I'm not taking it, but for those of you who want to take it. So if this happens here, it might retrace back a little further, honestly. It might go back a little further into the drawdown and then push back up. If you want to get in like a little high, a little lower, you can even get in at the value low down there. Because I think that's where price is going to test. It's either going to test the liquidity or it's going to test the value low down there. See, this price action here is not good. It's super, super slow. Not clean at all. Perfect. Yeah, no problem, Brock. Yeah, if you see anything, let me know. All right, so again, possible sweep right here. I think the sweep happened already. Yeah. So the sweep is now active. I mean, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like it came down right there. Came down right there, triggered it. It's now active and running. Again, the volatility is too low. Like what I would like to see here when I see these sweeps is I want it to fill and then go straight up. Like I don't want any lingering down here, right? When it starts to linger, that's where it becomes an issue. So like I said earlier, it's probably going to drop. If it does fill, it's probably drop below and then push up from here. The problem is that the volatility is so low right now. So price did get down to the value low right here. Got down to the value low, but didn't really push up from this point here. So what I would be looking for, because we still have about like 40 minutes left till 8, guys, what I would personally be looking for is a new low to be established down here, and then even another retest in the future, whenever that may happen. So ideally, I'd want this to push up, establish a new low, and then come back down from there. I wanted my liquidity to be below this value low right here because I wanted it to be that farther area for it to grab versus like right here where it's above the value low at that point. So I'll keep watching here, but again, I'm not in any of these entries. If you guys remember from yesterday, our entries were pretty far off. We had an entry that was like way up here. We had an entry that was way down here for liquidity sweep. For this right here, it's kind of tough because it's right down the middle. And there hasn't really been much liquidity around this point. Looks like price is correcting back down to the news price right here. So if anything, we might get a bounce off the news price. Starting to get a little bit of a rejection right there. Here, let's clean this up a little bit. So this is a better area for me to look for. There we go. So like I said earlier, if we had liquidity down here, this would be better because I wanted the sweep to be below the value low. That's why I didn't want to take any trades around this area. I said it was too close or it was too high above it. And there we go. The sweep happened. It just happened super late down there off the news. So that's why for me, I would have wanted my liquidity to be down here. We do have a liquidity down here now though. So there might be a retest of the sweep at this point. We got 7:30 coming up, so the market profile might adjust a little bit. I'll come back to take a look at that in a few. We got a new high right there. All right, clean up the chart a little bit here. No MPS V2s have came up yet so far for this leg because we had the MPS. So we had the sell signal come up right here, price retraced up. It never came back down below this area. So there was no fill for this momentum. We have another MPS V2 possibly setting up right here for a buy. So we got a buy signal right here. What we'd see here next is possible push to the upside, retracement, continuation of higher. Nice. Glenn got a bounce off the news price for 30 points. Solid work right there. So what I see here now is we have a new low. So once this high here is established, I could look for a possible sweep back down here. This is actually an area where I would take the sweep. So I would take the sweep from this one right here. Not the one earlier, but right here, this is actually a pretty good sweep zone. Which would have been there. There we go. All right, cool. So Got the set. This is a good sweep area though. So if price ever comes back down and it ranges, we have a lot of time on the chart. So we have like another 30 minutes. If price does come back down to this area, I'll be looking to take this sweep down here. Depending if this, so if this value high goes down any lower, and or if we have like if this comes down below the liquidity, I would be okay with taking it. If it's up here, I'm not going to take it, of course. I would need to have some sort of liquidity established up here for me to want to take that. Buy signal still hasn't came up, so there's no MPSV2 yet. Um, that'd be another good setup right there, MPSV2 for a buy. The only problem here is that we're going to be right at the sessions, right? So like we would need that entry to happen pretty soon, like pretty soon down the middle right here. Because if it goes too high into the sessions, obviously not going to mess with that there. Gotcha, Brock. So it closed right there. You gonna get in? I'll follow your stats. Right, the volatility here is we had a nice push right here and it started to slow down a bit. We have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here. Again, like I said earlier, it's going to be a little tricky because price is going to have to push up to the sessions up there. This sweep down here is still valid though. No MPSV2 there. If you want to take an MPSV2, guys, you need price to close above this area right here. It needs to be past the momentum. So momentum, retracement, continuation. That's what you're looking for there. Sam still got 60 points on gold, man. 3 hours, no trade was killing me. Yeah, I mean, I tested your patience and discipline on that, Sam. So nice work on catching that trade on gold. All right, so no MPSV2 right there for a buy for here, guys. There's a pending sell signal now. I see, Brock. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that the one that you're testing, Brock, it's hard to apply that during a choppy market. So we've been in a choppy market pretty much all day today, if you guys can see here. Market open right here. We had the bullish push. We had initial range down here, and then a new range was established right here. So price range broke up, consolidated, broke up, consolidated. It's actually in a big range right now. So you can't really tell very clearly, but it does look like we're in another range. Um, or I'll just draw another range. I'll just take this range off, or I could leave it on there for now. And then the new range is basically right here. I guess I could leave this on, but I'll just cut it down to here. Let me probably move this up to here. Yeah. So you guys can see here, I mean, we had the initial range pre-market, price pushed above, and then now we have another range right here. Still nothing going on at the moment. Price is still ranging within this area. We had a buy signal here, no MPSV2. We had a sell signal here, no MPSV2. Price is now pushing back up a little higher. And nothing here. So we'll keep watching. Christian's asking, do you have your pending order set already? No, not yet. I don't have it set because I don't want it to be just sitting there and then eventually I forget about it. If price gets any closer to it, yeah, I'll set it up, but I'm not going to leave it there and just because what happens a lot of times is you'll set an order and you'll forget about it. You'll close your Ninja Trader, and then you come back tomorrow with an account blown, right? So I wouldn't put the order this far away. If it was like closer to this area down here, maybe I would take it. I also wouldn't put a pending order because what happens sometimes is like you go for a buy and then you want to go for a sell next, and then you can't have overlapping orders. So we have a possible. No, there's not really much going on here. So let me just zoom out a little bit. All right, it's actually 7:30 right now. So let me see if this here has adjusted. 685. It did adjust, right? Yeah, so it's now at 685. It just keeps coming down tighter and tighter because the consolidation is dropping down. Um, the value low right here pushed up a little higher. Actually at 595 now. Okay, so with this adjustment here, guys, I mean, the sweep could actually happen at this point now. Is established? No. Okay. So what I'm going to look for here is ideally, I would still want to get this lower level down here. But the one thing that I do want to mention is there could be a possible sweep here. If we get a new high that's established, there's no new high yet though, right? So right here, this low here is still pending. So until we get a new high, this low here is going to be pending. But this could be a possible MPSV2 or not, sorry, MPSV2. This could be a possible liquidity sweep um, from this level. So this would be at 588. TP would be at 608. Stop loss would be at, so this could be another possible sweep right there. The ATR is starting to come down a bit. All right, so we do have this high here, not established, but we do have a new high there. So this could be another possible sweep area. I mean, obviously, I would like to go for the lower one, but this could be a good enough sweep too. Because it's right at the value low. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to break and retest basically. It's currently broken above, retest the value low, push back up higher. So that's what I'm looking for here on the 30-minute time frame. Over here, that's where I have my sweep set up, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking for at that point. Javam said not looking for the upper sweeps down, Sean. No, because the value high is way up here. So I would need to have liquidity up in this area. So I mean, if I do get liquidity up here, then yeah, I'll look for some sweeps to the downside. But you can see over here, these are regular liquidity, right? See how price is breaking through it? Because there's no confluences right there. Yeah, that's the whole point of the sweep. So like Shivam said, you're basing off your TPOs, not necessarily off the TPOs. It's based off liquidity, but again, like I said, there's no liquidity up here, so that's why I'm not looking for any sweeps around that area because there's two different types, right? There's liquidity where price pushes through it. That's normal liquidity. Liquidity sweeps is where it bounces off areas where there's structure. So that's why I'm basing it off the liquidity that's sitting around the TPOs. Yeah. Because I need to have that confluence there. Because like, you don't want to get on the in the wrong liquidity where it shoots through. You want to get in liquidity where it's or I mean technically you can. If you want to take the buy here, like you could have taken a liquidity push entry right there for 10 points, right? Usually like that's a 10-point move. Because you can just push to the next level of liquidity. There's a possible sweep right here though. So this is a possible sweep, but again, like it's below the value high. So I want it to be a bit higher because where I can see the rejection happen is either right there or even at the sessions. So that's where I'm looking to catch my sweep. I mean, this is a possible sweep right here. It looks like it's probably going to play through, but I wouldn't want to take that one there specifically because even though it's close to the value high, I would probably go into drawdown before it actually filled and hit. So this is another possible sweep, and it looks like that sweep right there actually played through. It was close, but it wasn't like so what happened here was the TPO moved down, right? Initially the TPO was like up here. That's why I didn't really base it off this sweep right here. Because if this was the initial sweep area, then I could have maybe looked at this, but initially the TPO right here for the value high was like way up here. So I wasn't even looking at this area for sweeps. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense, guys. So you can see over here, this is like a liquidity push. We would have taken the buy here to push price in that direction, and this here would be the sweep. This is why it's important to understand the difference between liquidity push and liquidity sweep. Because liquidity push is when your price is pushing past it. Liquidity sweep is when we're getting price sweeping that area. So it kind of gives you two opportunities for entry right here. Like you could have entered for a push to the upside for a buy, and then you could have entered for a sweep to the downside. You basically have two opportunities there and right there. All right, so I mean the sweeps are working pretty nice. It's just they're just not areas that I'm looking to take entries. So again, possible sweep right here down below if price comes down to this area. 41,588. The ATR is currently at 28, so like might want to go for a smaller target if possible. All right, there's nothing else here. Let me see if it's adjusted again. I just have to keep going back to the 30 minutes to see if there's adjustments here. So if you look over here, the value highs actually hasn't been tested yet. So price may come back and retest that area. There's two areas for price to test here. So on the 30-minute time frame, we have this area right here for price to possibly bounce. We also have this area down here, the value low, where price is likely to bounce. The value low makes sense right here because that's where price is supposed to bounce from anyways. So we'll see. Oh, actually here again, as price comes below, setup over here is going to be at 588. I'll be looking for possible opportunity there to build my pending order. I'm just going to watch it over here, 541, 588. It's just kind of far down, so I'm not really sure if this is actually going to even come down this low. Yeah, it's 40, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. The volatility here is starting to slow down. ACR is currently at 27 now. So earlier it was above like 30. It's now at 27. Starting to flatten out a little bit. Got a new high right there. So again, it's still not high enough to where I want to take the entry for a sweep here. Like, I don't know if I would take this sweep here, even though it'd be a possible double top. So like what happened here is we had a possible double top from like right here and right here, possibly a triple top. right there, right? It's a possibility. It's a possibility, but again, the I want this high to be closer, if not like past the value high there. It's not high enough for me. Because the thing is that this is the last thing I want to see happen. So this is what may happen. This might not bounce off this point. It might push through and it might bounce off this point, or it might bounce off this point. There's going to be opportunities here for price to bounce off of the value high or the sessions right there. So like if you really want to take this as a liquidity put or a liquidity sweep, I would get in from like the value high or I'd get in from the sessions. So instead of getting in right there, I'd get in like right here. Although it could still play out. Like for example, if you were to take the sweep right here, your stop loss is like wide enough to absorb the drawdown retracement, right? I mean, it's wide enough, but do I want to take that risk? Probably not. So again, right here, so this high here wasn't even established. So this wasn't even a liquidity push at that point or a liquidity sweep. The high's actually pushed up a little higher right there. So you can see how it's getting closer and closer to the value high. The closer and closer it pushes, like ideally, I would even want it to test the value high. I want it to push up, test the value high, establish a high right here, come back down, and then come back up for that retracement and push back lower. Like I would love to see a pattern like this. Let's see, Wes said there was an MPSV2. Let me check. So let's see for this bot. Yeah, so there's actually an MPSV2 that came up right there. I wasn't paying attention to it, but it did happen like very last minute right here. There's an MPSV2 that's currently running to the upside. Or it already hit actually. Thanks, Wes, for identifying that. Yeah, it actually just hit TP and then it came back down. And then that sweep right here that I marked up happened too. Damn, so these are like they hit double ways. So this is why I think the sweeps are going to be a good strategy to use in conjunction with the MPSV2. So we had like there was no MPSV2 here, there's no MPSV2 here. This one finally came up, but it came up like I mean, ideally I probably wouldn't have taken it because it was right at that range. But we had a buy signal, retracement, green candle right there for confirmation. So there was a sweep right here, MPSV2 to TP, and then another sweep right here. So basically sweep MPSV2 sweep. This is why I like using these because they go hand in hand with each other. You can catch the push to the upside and you can catch the top and come right back down. So yeah, thanks for calling that out, Wes. John is asking, is 28 ATR considered high liquidity or volume? No, it's considered normal. It should be around 30. So on average, it should be close to 30. When it's below, like closer to 20, that's considered low volatility in the market. All right, so there's a possible sweep opportunity right here, guys, if anybody's looking to take it. I don't really have the numbers down yet, so I don't know if I could take this. Um, this is closer to the value high right there. Let me check the value high. So you can see right here, it's getting close to it. It's trying to retest it, possibly bounce off it right there. Let's see. What is the criteria? 41,682. Let me see if the low is established. Yeah, so that would be this would be a valid high here. See if it comes back down. So the entry would be around like 682. I don't like the price action here though, where it's currently sitting. And I also don't so again, like I said earlier, I would rather have the liquidity past the value high. It's not exactly there yet. I mean, it's close, but it's not exactly where it should be or where I want it to be. Still hasn't filled yet. So again, if anybody's looking to take it again, I don't like the volatility here or the market structure or the price action. It's just too slow. Like what I want to see here is I want to see it get filled and then sweep fast, right? Quick push up, grab the liquidity there, and then come right back down. I just don't like trading in ranging markets. Whenever I see ranging markets like this, it makes me uneasy. Like I don't feel like, it's very clean. It's been trying to test this area for a long time though. You can see over here, it's been trying to push up. It gets up, then it comes back down. Gets up, then it comes back down. Uh, Still at 85, so hasn't really changed very much. Ideally, I'd like it to come down here, but I mean, obviously that's not the case. Higher time frames are still bearish. So we got the 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute time frame all bearish. 10-minute, 5-minute, 10 minutes still bearish. 5-minute, and 1 minute has shifted to bullish. So that sweep right there never got filled, guys. Yeah, the volatility's kind of flattened out a little bit. If there are opportunities for entry here, it'll probably be for, I mean, you probably have to go for a smaller target. Ether is down to 24. Yeah, Shivam said crazy markets recovered from that huge drawdown push, downwards push in one session. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, no, I did. Came down hard and it came right back up. It's a tricky market for sure. All right, we got price pushing up right here. Possible sweep at that area. I'll keep watching it here, see if I can maybe get in. If I do get in, it's gonna be it's gonna be just at a whim. Let's see. I can get into it. I was looking for it to get up to the sessions right there. I was gonna try to get in right here at the value high. I mean, it would have been nice. I think that'd be 25 points already. Almost. Yeah, so the sweep filled right there, guys. ATR is currently at 25. Yep, full TP. Fuck my life. I was gonna hit market sell as soon as it got up to that point, but didn't get a chance. It's all good. All right, yeah, so Sam got it. Talanji got it. Solid work, guys. 30 points actually hit right there. All right, so the sweeps worked out perfect, guys. Again, this is just another confirmation that the sweeps work very well with the MPSV2. It's probably going to be something I'll continue to implement because it works great, right? We have entries in both directions. We got MPSV2s to the upside. We got liquidity sweeps to the downside. There could be another possible liquidity sweep here again. Price still hasn't gotten to the session yet, guys. So another possible sweep right here. Glenn got it as well. Nice work, Glenn. 692, possible sweep right there. Solange said, I think I love this game. FOMO activated. Yeah, definitely. All right, so we have a possible opportunity right here for another sweep at the 41 692. I could put a limit order right there.
Order submitted.
So I'll just watch it here. I mean, if it doesn't fill, it doesn't fill. It's 750 right now. Volatility is a little lower, but there could be a possible sweep there. Clean this up a little bit. I mean, the volatility is starting to pick up a little bit again. A lot of different opportunities here. Okay, so for this one right here, I will change this a little bit. Oops. And we might get the sweep from the bottom. Yeah. Yes, we might get that sweep from the bottom right there. Let me check it. Take this one off. All right, so I took my pending order off there because a sweep might happen from down here, actually.
Order canceled.
Cancel order right there. So the sweep might happen right here at 41,588. There's no MPS V2s there. 41,588. See if I get into this one here. So I'm looking for the
Order submitted.
possible bounce off of the value low. So see how price is coming down to the value low right here? Looking for price to get to that point. What was the opening price at? All right, let's see. 30. I'm gonna mark up the 25
Order submitted.
because the 25 might be. I'll watch it from here. I think 30 might be a little too far. So we'll see. See how far it comes down. The thing is we have liquidity sitting even lower down here, so I don't like that as much. Price is currently at the value low. So I mean there's a lot of different things here that can play through. Price can either push back up, it can bounce off the value low here, or it can push down to open. So kind of see here how this moves on the 30. Yeah, it's a little tricky because this thing might be dumping back to opening price, like what Sam mentioned. See here, price is pushing back up. Thing is like there's another liquidity down below here. So I'm looking for this to push back past the value low right here, basically. See, the thing is we had liquidity sitting down below even further. So it's like a tricky area right now. Because earlier we just had one liquidity that was sitting around that area. I'm looking for a possible fake out and a swing back up from here. But I think the 30 points might be a little too far out. 25 is going to be right here at the 613. It's getting close to 8 o'clock. I might try to get out at the 25. 613. Yeah, so like this is where it's kind of tricky because there's more liquidity that's sitting below here. Let me clean this up a little bit. So price might come down and grab this liquidity even lower. before it shoots up. So it might come down here, grab this liquidity, and then come back up higher from there. Or we might just get the fake out from this point here and then come right back up. That's why I don't like that's why I was saying before in the past or past couple of days, I like to go for the lower liquidity. But this one over here was the closest one to the value low. I mean, if it hits my stop, it's fine. It's going to be a break-even week for me if that's the case. But I'm hoping it pushes up. So it's pushing back up a little bit. Again, like I said, I want this to reject off the value low right here and then push back up higher. But it looks like price is trying to grab that lower liquidity. We got that liquidity right here. There's a lot of liquidity sitting down below. I don't think I marked up opening price today. Or no, I did. It's way down here. Yeah, opening price is way down here, guys. $7.56 right now. Volatility is kind of flattening out. Like I said, I like these sweeps when the volatility is a little higher, but we're getting close to 8 o'clock. So trade's still running. I might try to grab that liquidity. Move this over a little bit. Yeah, stop me out. It's all good. So unfortunately, guys, break even week for me this week. I mean, it is
Stop
what it
filled.
is. Stop filled right there. So it looks like you might come and grab this liquidity down here and then push up from there. Because like I said, we had this was the initial level that I was looking to take. But this one was closer to the value low. Let's see. Or this thing might even push right up from where we were at. Always happens. 757 right now. Damn. I was hoping this wasn't going to be a break-even week again. This, well, it's break-even for me, but if you guys took the trade on Monday, it's not break-even. So I didn't take the trade on Monday. So unfortunately, I had technical issues with my NinjaTrader. Monday, I missed the trade completely. Tuesday, I took a partial. Yesterday, we won. And then today, unfortunately, took a loss. So for me, it's break even. But if you guys took the other entries, or if you were able to get into the entries on Monday and Tuesday, you'd be net win one today. So you'd still be up by one win. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a break even week for me, unfortunately. I'm curious to see if it sweeps this area right here. See, here's the problem. There's so much liquidity down here. It's easier to catch the sweeps when there's only like one level up here, but there's like 5 levels right here. It's just like this one over here got filled a little too early. And then we're going into a holiday week next week. Yeah, exactly. It's Solange said, like you said, from liquidity to liquidity. That's exactly what happened here. So, like I said, you got to be able to tell the difference between liquidity and liquidity sweep. This right here was regular liquidity, right? So you could have taken this to the downside to the next liquidity, and then the sweep could have happened right here. There's also an MPSV2 that's currently running or has been running, I think, for a while here. Yeah, so this is an MPSV2. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. It did exactly what I was expecting. See, so this is what I was saying, guys. Like, I mean, it is what it is. I took that loss, but this did exactly what I was anticipating. So this is what I was hoping for. I was hoping for the liquidity sweep and then shoot to straight to TP. Uh, I had two levels here. I got in a little too early on this one. This one over here obviously shot straight to TP. So, like I said, it's just unlucky. I got caught in this one over here, which lost, but this one over here went straight to TP. It took two candles and it literally skyrocketed to its TP. So it's all good. It's a break-even week for me. Can't complain. It's just, that's just what I'm taking for this week. So break-even week. Um, Damn, this thing did exactly the analysis played through, but it's all good. So I'll keep incorporating these liquidity sweeps for the next couple of weeks, guys. I mean, we're going to keep incorporating this with the MPS V2s, but I think they work pretty well together. I think now that we kind of have a grasp on these liquidity sweeps, I'll be able to incorporate these in future entries. So I think this will be helpful next week because we'll be able to look for trades in either direction. We'll also be able to identify where MPS V2s might be a little tricky because of the sweep. So for example, like I said, there was an MPS V2 that came up right here, but I probably would have skipped this MPS V2 because I saw a sweep right here. And that's exactly what happened at this point. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. But Monday is going to be a holiday. So just another reminder, guys, Monday is going to be a Memorial Day holiday. So there's markets are going to be closed pretty much for most of the day. They might be open pre-market for a little bit, but they're going to be closed pretty much throughout the regular session. So yeah, I think that's it for the day. If you guys are looking for some more sweeps, I don't think there's any more sweeps down here. Yeah, not that I see. But yeah, I think that's it. All right, guys, have a great weekend. If you guys have any questions, you can catch me on Discord. Otherwise, break-even week for me, profitable week for overall with the entries that were identified and taken, but break-even for me because of my technical issues on Monday and Tuesday. So hopefully next week will be a lot better and we can close out this month strong in profit.